first thing we need to do when we're going to solve a problem like this is start with two area models. And the first thing I have to look at is the first denominator. So what's the first denominator? 4. So I'm going to divide both shapes into fourths, and you'll see why in just a minute. So divide both shapes into fourths. And then with your brackets, whoops, show 1, whoops, and 1/4. And then I want you to write that down here. Now, do you see how this is 1 whole plus 1/4? Okay, that's what we're going to shade. 1 whole plus 1/4. Okay, now I still need to show 1/3. So how could I show 1/3 on these two area models? Jules?
You could divide it into 3 and then like.
Okay, so let's just do that much now. Divide it into 3. And if I, since I'm on my board, could I even divide it with a different color? Yeah. And then I'm going to take 1/3 of all of this and subtract it. So put a bracket here and write 1/3 because that's what I'm subtracting. I want you to do it on the side. It's just there's no other good place for it. So now, I could do the X's and cross off each one that I'm taking away, right? But I decided this is much easier. Let's just circle that 1/3 so we can find it easily, okay? So you're going to circle the 1/3. Now you're ready to come up with your common denominator. So the common denominator, Sarai, is what? 12. How'd you get that? You multiplied the denominators. Very good. Now I'm going to count. And this is where my improper fraction will turn out. So I've got how many 12s here? How many 12s? 12 12s plus? So that is 15 12s. Good. Now for the second numerator, that's my 1/3. So 1, 2, 3, 4 12s for my second numerator. Now what's 15 minus 4?
11.
Okay, and if I were to go and count all of these that I didn't subtract, it looks to me like 8 plus 3, and that's 11. So we did it correctly. And it's already simplified. How do I know it's simplified? Okay, it's a prime number. Awesome. Let's do the next one. If you were to try and do this without this strategy, it would almost be too confusing at this point. So take a look at your first denominator. What is it? 5. So I need 5 vertical parts. And I have 1 and 1/5 that I'm going to shade. So 1 whole plus 1/5. Make sure you shade that before you do anything else. All right, right, now my second fraction shows 1/3. So I'm going to divide the fifths into thirds. I'm going to label 1/3. And then we said instead of Xing it off, let's circle it. It's just easier to see. Okay, make sure you did all this. Some of you are ahead of me, aren't you? Okay, Aiden, what's my new denominator?
Would be, I don't know. 15.
15. Okay, get that written down on there. These are good habits to develop, okay? Faith, if I have 15 15ths plus 3 more 15ths, how many 15ths do I have? 18 15ths, very good. And if I'm subtracting 1/3 of the 15ths, JC, how many do I have? 5 15ths. 18 minus 5.
13, 15.
How do I know that's simplified?
13.
Oh, you're getting good, block 4.
Yeah, we're block 4.
Okay, so let's take a look at C. There's a chance that we'll have to simplify it. So be ready for that, okay? So I've got to show eighths. Do you remember the easiest way to show eighths? Brian.
You go half, and then make your fourths, and then do another half.
And then divide your, oh my goodness. Divide your fourths in half, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest way to make eighths and, I don't know, this isn't my day.
Yeah.
So once I've made eighths, then I've got to decide what I need to shade.
1 3/8 of it.
1 3/8. So with my bracket, I'm going to mark 1 3/8. Make sure you label it at the bottom. Okay, my second fraction, what am I subtracting?
1/2.
1/2. So divide the eighths in half. Label 1/2. And then we are circling it for now. I think we'll get better at this and we won't have to circle in the future. Okay, Jules, what's my new denominator?
16.
16. How'd you get that?
8 times
8 times 2. Okay? So if I have 16 16ths plus another 6, how many does that give me, Maria? 16 plus 6. 22 16ths. Very good. And 1/2 of 16 16ths is what, Adele? What is 1/2? 8 16ths. Good. So I will subtract 22 minus 8. What do I get?
13, 16. 14.
14 16ths. Do they share a factor?
Yes.
So we have to simplify. So what factor do 14 and 16 share? It's a 2. You're right. So 14 divided by 2, what is it? And 16 divided by 2 is?
8, 8, 17.
Okay, very good.